Welcome back. Today we are looking at some really cheap houses in Finland. So let's dive in. There are a few places you can check, but I prefer a2ov.com. Just click the green button if you agree with the cookies. Now when you scroll down, you will have a choice of the kind of property you are interested in. I am looking for a house where to live, so I will pick the first. Here I choose Omakotitalo because I want a detached house. I am also looking for a cheap fixer-upper, so I will put in the maximum of 10,000 euros. There are 33 options at my criteria, but let's get even more specific. I will mark down the minimum price to avoid false hits. Also, it is important to mark omistus asunto so that you can own this property and it will eliminate the shared property options. Same goes for the plot, in Finnish tontti. I would like to own, not rent. Renting a plot is also common in Finland. Now we are left with 13 options. So let's have a closer look. Here you can see more or less of the locations where these properties are. But as there are only 13 properties that meet my criteria, let's look at the list. This first one is really cute. Let's have a closer look. I am familiar with this area. It is quite remote, so the property prices are usually lower. This looks like a nice fixer-upper. I like the high ceilings, the hardwood floors, and the old timber walls. They look mostly cleaned and renovated, but you can spot some water damage. Some of it might need to be switched out. So there is a second floor, which seems to be quite spacious. The yard is quite nice. In Finland, you can find nice big private yards, even in the city. There seems to be a barn or a shed that needs some DLC. But in all honesty, this seems to be a pretty good deal for 5,000 euros. Let me just quickly translate this information. It's a nice size plot. The house has not been used since 2023, in need of several repairs. Not move-in ready. The outbuildings need to be rebuilt. The plot is nice and spacious. The location is not bad either. The house is not in Kouvola, but a little more south in a town called Anjala, towards Kotka. And it is also not far away from the capital, Helsinki. So here's another house. Not too bad from the outside. It has lower ceilings, which I'm not a fan of, but is common in a lot of houses. The fireplace has a problem with smoke. There are some outbuildings, and a nice big garage. Not sure if this car comes with the house. There's also a sauna. It is quite a good option for 10,000 euros, but I feel like it is not for me. If we look at the location, it looks like a nice big plot again. The house is located very close to Russian border. I am not interested in this area. Even though the nature is nice there with many lakes nearby, it is still quite remote. This next one looks to be in good shape. Nice yard and outbuilding. The kitchen seems to be relatively modern. A lot of mid-century modern furniture. If you like that, it is ready to move in. The bathroom seems to be in good shape. Okay, this property seems to be already reserved, so there's no point in looking further. This next one looks like a summer house. Yes, I am not a big fan of this. If this piqued your interest, have a look at the page. I am moving on. All of these seem to be similar houses like the last one. This one here looks like a storefront, probably some village's grocery store. But this one looks cute. First look, it seems to be an easy fix. There is even a sauna in the house, but it needs work. Same goes for the whole house. But that's what we are looking for, a fixer-upper. I like the high ceilings and the beadboards. There is even a pizza oven. There's a second floor, which looks quite spacious. You can see some water damage on the ceilings, which is expected with these old houses. But the roof does not look too bad. I like this aerial photo of the location, not too far from a lake. There is a lot of greenery around and not too many neighbors. Finns love their privacy. It is quite a small plot, just a little bit room around the house and no outbuildings. But it is definitely cute. The location is pretty good, close to a lake, and also closer to the sea than the last one. It is not far away from Tampere and Pori, which is good. There are also good connections to the capital. The price for this one is 8,000 euros. I like that very much. Let's have a look at this last one. The house looks pretty good at first glance. There is a shed and plenty of garden room. They have removed a floor, so some problems can be expected. There's a second floor. Spot the water damage. There's also a pretty decent cellar, with a sauna, and what looks to be a wood-burning water heater. Okay, here it says that someone has already made a bid for 12,000 euros. That is out of my budget, so I leave it at that right now. So that is it for this time. I'd say there are some good options available right now. If some of these piqued your interest, have a look at Adovi's page. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.